All right, we looked at how to make a pie chart, and now we're going to look at how to make a bar chart. So both of these are charts for categorical data. And the example problem we're going to use for this first bar chart is titled, Do You Listen to Country Radio? The rating service Arbitron places U.S. radio stations into more than 50 different categories that describe the kind of program they broadcast. Which formats attract the largest audiences? They're measurements of the share of the listening audience, so that would be the percentage of the audience, ages 12 and over at a given time for the most popular formats can be found on the spreadsheet tab titled Radio. So those tabs are along the bottom, so kind of highlighted down here. They're just below where I highlighted. We did the one for majors. The one just to the right is titled Radio, so we'll click on that. So we have some of the formats listed here: country, news, pop, classic, sports, and so on. The first instruction says, to what value does the data sum? And especially because these are in percents, that is definitely a good thing to check. I'm going to skip 3 or 4 spaces. I'm going to put that total. I'm going to leave a little bit bigger gap than I did last time. So I'll put total and go ahead and use that sum command you learned in the pie chart video. So equals the sum with a parentheses. Highlight this data. Okay, so it adds up to 76.4. So it's really far away from 100%. So we're missing some data. And if we think back to what the problem said, it said there were 50 different categories. We definitely don't have 50 categories here. We have, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13. Okay, so we're missing a bunch of categories. And one way we could fix that is we could choose to put in other here. And if you've taken surveys, a lot of times they'll have some choices and they have an other or else or something like that. So I'll put other here. And then I need to figure out how much that is. So what the difference is between 100% and 76.4%. So I'll type equals 100. Oops, and then I'll put minus 76.4. Okay. So that should calculate that difference. And I get 23.6. And then I'd like to be able to make sure that this all adds up to 100%, right? So it didn't update my total. And that's because when I originally highlighted this, I didn't have an other category here. So there's a couple ways I can fix this so that I can make sure that it really does add up to 100. If I've double clicked on this, I can come down here to where I type the original formula in, and I can replace the 14 with the 15. That other is in the B15. So I could do it that way. Just above the letters that tell you what column you're in, there's a long box up here. You can also edit your formulas up here. Okay, so I can change that 14 to a 15. Or if I have double clicked on this and it's highlighted the boxes it's using, I can come to the bottom right-hand corner, drag this down to now include the other, and then it'll automatically update that formula there. All right, so I'll hit enter. That adds up to 100%. So we're good in terms of if I wanted to make a pie chart. Now I have 100% of my data. The directions, though, ask us to make a bar chart. So it says put a title and axis labels and be sure to include the other format. So remember, to make a graph, we need to go up to the insert ribbon. So at the top, I'm on the home ribbon. I'll go to the insert ribbon. And then here is where our pie chart was. Our charts are in the middle. 2 above that one, you have a blue, gold, and purple bars. And that is going to be your bar chart there. Okay, so that's the icon we're going to use. And remember, for categorical variables, we need to highlight the categories and the numbers. And I'm going to include that other, but not the total. So I have everything highlighted. And I'll add that bar chart. So here we go. We have country, news, pop, all the way, including other. The chart title. So let's change that to match the title of the example. So do you listen to country radio? And then I'll put my initials. So remember, on your homework, you always want to put your initials after the title. And then it said to add axis labels. So we need to add a horizontal label. So that would be for these titles across the bottom. And then we need to put one along the vertical or the y-axis. So to do that, it's the same place where we did the data labels and stuff for the pie chart. So we're looking for that add a chart element. So you want to be in the Chart Tools Design ribbon. you'll go over to add a chart element and then the axis titles. So we'll put the one along the bottom, the horizontal one first. And these are the radio station formats. These are actually just the titles of the two columns you highlighted. So we'll put radio station format. So there's one axis label. And then I need the vertical one. So I'll go back to the add a chart element, back to axis titles, down to vertical. And then this is the share, which is measured in percent. Okay, and it's important to note that that's a percent there, as opposed to just being a number of people, right? So it's not that I have 14 people, it's 14% of the people we surveyed listen to that type of music. All right, so now we have, I think we followed everything. It said make a bar chart, we did. A title, check. Axis labels, we did both of those, and we included the others. So it looks like we're good to go with the graph. There's one more question. It says, would it be correct to display these data in a pie chart? So I have 4 choices here. So your choices are no, because the variable is quantitative, not categorical. Choice B, yes, since the percents add up to 100. C, yes, a pie chart can be used for any data. Or D, yes, as long as you use the other format as part of the data. So take a second to think about that. And the correct answer is D, as in dog. Yes, you could make a pie chart, but you'd have to make sure you include that other category so it adds up to 100%. All right, come back in the next video. We'll look at how we can reorganize these bars in order from smallest to tallest, tallest to smallest, and so on.